Unlike any other noir released at this time, Repeat Performance resembles an extended episode of The Twilight Zone. It even has the omniscient narrator, in this case voiced by actor John Ireland. Of course, the legendary TV series didn't start until 1959, so we'll just have to wonder if Rod Serling may have read William O'Farrell's novel when it was published in 1942. If he did, he read something significantly different than the film. In the book, the character who relives the previous year is acclaimed Broadway actor Barney Page, and his bête noire is his drunken shrew of a wife, Sheila. When Brian Foy decided to cast Joan Leslie in the film version, the roles were reversed. Either he didn't feel Leslie could play a mean, rotten character, or he felt the public didn't want to see this angelic youngster playing such a debauched character. It was a drastic change, going from 37-year-old Sylvia Sidney to 21-year-old Joan Leslie, and it necessitated many changes from the original story, in which Sheila goes blind after binge drinking a bottle of cologne and commits suicide, and Barney ends up killing his lover and co-star, Paula Costello. That's the crime he sought for at the start of the novel. The cops chase him into the subway and are about to open fire when into the breach steps Barney's pal, poet William and Mary Williams. As the shots are fired, time folds in on itself, and Barney starts reliving the previous year. And yes, I did say William and Mary, because in O'Farrell's novel, the poet is a transvestite. William when he's a male, Mary when he's cross-dressing. That's what earns him a stint in an asylum. It's not because he's racked with artistic anxiety. Like I said at the top, keeping the character as he was in the book would have been groundbreaking for a movie in 1947, but of course that was impossible due to the production code. The character is still unmistakably gay in Richard Basehart's performance, and although the picture's reworked denouement requires some leaps of logic, it's interesting that in both the book and film, it's the sensitive gay character who breaks out of the hospital to save the protagonist from the fateful space-time continuum in which they're trapped. Lots to unpack there for hardier souls than me.
Destiny's a stubborn old girl, Sheila. She doesn't like people interfering with her plans. But we tricked her, didn't we? Anyway, I don't think she cares about the pattern as long as the result is the same.
The producers were so thrilled with Basehart's work, they added a couple of scenes for him with Joan Leslie. Now, that may have been to bolster the motivation for his timely reappearance at the end of the picture. Who knows? But they thought enough of him to hold the film's world premiere in Basehart's hometown of Zanesville, Ohio, celebrating the Broadway actor's first film role. Basehart was actually afraid it might be his last, saying later that my first role was nearly my swan song. I played a weak, neurotic poet, and after it, nobody would cast me in a good romantic part. Well, that worry was short-lived. Basehart had a long career after this. In fact, one of his best early roles reunited him with director Alfred Werker. In 1948, he played the villain in Eagle Lion's He Walked by Night, which was a sleeper hit for the studio. It was crime films that essentially kept the studio afloat in the late 40s. Repeat Performance and several other prestige productions underperformed for the company. But by contrast, low-budget pictures like T-Men, Raw Deal, Canyon City, He Walked by Night, and Trapped made dough for the studio and helped further the film noir movement in Hollywood. Now, I don't know what you thought of Louis Hayward in this film, but I hope you aren't as critical as the New York Times was. Its review of Repeat Performance called him the biggest slice of boiled ham since Charles Lawton. Ouch. My kudos go to the supporting cast, who seemed to be having a ball. As John Friday, Tom Conway was his usual smooth self, just a couple of notches down on the suave scale from his brother, George Sanders. Virginia Field, as Paula, fit right into the showbiz byplay, since she had a reputation for bad-mouthing co-stars. Allegedly, she called Loretta Young a phony and conked David O. Selznick with a wine decanter when she thought he made a pass at her. Stardom may have eluded her as a result, but she maintained a busy career for a few more decades. As Bess, Benet Venuta had the Eve Arden role, a one-woman Greek chorus who gets the best lines.
Bess, where did Bonnie go?
I don't know. Just look for a bottle of cognac. He'll be with it.
Venuta was born in San Francisco, and she was mainly a musical performer with dozens of Broadway shows to her credit. And then, of course, there's Natalie Schaefer, better known to millions of baby boomers as Mrs. Thurston J. Howell in the sitcom Gilligan's Island. She makes her character, Eloise Shaw, an amusing send-up of matrons of the arts. Not entirely far-fetched, either. Okay, that'll do it for this show and this year. I'm eager to hear what you thought of Repeat Performance, so give us your feedback on the Noir Alley Facebook page and Twitter feed. Next week, Noir Alley christens the new year with a perennial favorite. Unlike Repeat Performance, next week's movie has been on TCM many times, but this will be its debut on Noir Alley, and I'm eager to share some fun stuff about it. So join me for Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall co-starring in Raymond Chandler's The Big Sleep. Have a safe and happy New Year's, everybody. See you back here next week, provided we don't all have to live 2019 all over again. God forbid.